Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to BWTM Sports. You know who I am. We have a very special guest in the room tonight. A special guest. This guest that I'm bringing on the show was one of the first people I ever interviewed, like live with a camera, a broken camera at that. I was working for, I wasn't working, I was volunteering for Fight Hype UK. Literally, it was the first day. I saw an ad. They were looking for people to do media work. And I said, you know what? I'll jump at it. On my first day, I was in Derek Chisora's gym and I was doing an interview. And during the time I was doing interviews with people in the gym, including Derek Chisora, there was a young man that was in the gym at the same time. And he was associated with Frankie Gavin, I believe, who possibly was fighting on the same bill that night of Derek Chisora and David Hay. Now, introducing our special guest tonight, Dean Edwards. Dean, how are you doing?
I'm all right, thanks, Ingram. Yourself, mate?
I'm very, very good. It's been a long time, Dean.
Yeah, it has been a long time. Yeah, we was actually drafted in there, Ingram. I was with Chris Keane. We were sparring. Derek, we've been brought in for the David Hay fight, hadn't we?
Yeah, that's the one. Chris Keane as well. Yes.
Yeah, Chris was drafted in because his style is very similar to David Hay. So we was down helping Don Charles and Derek Chisora get ready for that big fight he had with David Hay.
Okay, for those people who don't know who you are, probably who's this guy? Who's this geezer on the phone? Please give people the background as to who you are and in reference to obviously the show we've got tonight.
Well, I've been involved in boxing really my whole life. My uncle's boxed, my father boxed. I then came through. I then went into training and working with amateurs through into the pro game, and I've been a pro trainer and manager and out promote now for, I'd say, probably the past 12 years. I've worked with some big names and worked big fights, including world title fights before, but currently I manage and help John Costello, who is Jamie Cox's trainer. I manage Jamie along with some other fighters.
So who
I like to sort of fly under the radar, though, Ingram. What people probably don't hear about me. I like to leave it all about the boxers, which, in my opinion, who it's about. There's too many on there who love to jump in front of the cameras and make it about them, you see. But I like to try and do it the right way and leave it about the fighters.
Apples and pears, pears and apples?
Yeah.
Okay, well, Dean, who are the other guys that you've managed previously or have been involved with? I know you talked about world title fights, but who else have you been involved with?
Yeah, well, the list is endless, really. I work alongside, as I say, and I manage Jamie Cox. I work with young Joe Costello currently. I still work with Chris Keane. I've also I help out Errol Johnson in the Midlands with his stable of fighters and who he has coming through. I've worked with Troy James in the past. Young Joe Sheriff now, who is signed with MTK. Oh, bloody hell. The list is endless, mate, over the years. The list is absolutely endless over the years, Ingram, to be honest, mate.
But now you've called yourself, or you're referred to as the boxing cutsman. That was something I remember meeting you for as well.
Yeah. That's what I've always... That's an avenue I've always enjoyed and liked, and I like to sort of sit back and play more of a role doing that. So I'm interested in hands and cuts, and always have been. I like to think I'm pretty good at my job. Hence why, over the years I've had, from small shows to big fights, I've had, little bits of write-ups in papers, Cutman keeps British title fighter dreams alive and so on. It's one of the headlines. That's just something that I enjoy doing, and I like to play a very pivotal role in that. And I'm also I do Jamie's cuts as well, as you'll see the weekend, and that's just something I enjoy doing.
So tell us how you got involved with Jamie Cox.
I was running my own gym in Birmingham, and obviously Birmingham's, even though it's a big city, the boxing world in general across the country is pretty small. Everybody knows everybody or somebody, and obviously John Costello is very well known. Again, he's been in boxing, his whole life, and boxed himself in and around Birmingham. His two sons have boxed. Thomas Costello fought Danny Butler for the English title, very good fighter. Has got some good wins as an amateur, and his younger son Joe Costello was voted one of the best prospects, young prospects in the country. He's currently unbeaten. He's a lightweight, and so I was helping them out in the gym, and they were coming down. I had a lad called Alex Delmajani over. He's originally from down south that I work with. Alex was then for about the past 5-6 years. He's based over in the Romanza gym in Mexico City, trained by Nacho Bernstein.
Oh.
There's various sparring of Alex sparring one man, Marquez, Jorge Arce, Johnny Gonzalez, loads of footage. And as I say, I forgot Alex, which I shouldn't have done. I do apologise. Alex is another fighter that I've worked with and I work with. And when Alex is over from Mexico, he comes and works with me. As do I have some lads come down from Scotland and all over the country. They come down to work with me at times. And John Costello, we sort of got together. There was a big pool of fighters. Adrian Gonzalez was in the camp at the time. Lee Beard was working with John. Young unbeaten lad Raz Hamza. So there was a big pool of fighters. So we sort of come together and merged. And over the time, me and John, we're very similar characters. We're sort of no nonsense, straight talking, honest people. John liked who I am. I liked how John was, and we sort of developed a good friendship and a strong working partnership. And Jamie's a very similar character. He's a very honest, hard-working kid, very loyal, very, very loyal, and he's a no-nonsense sort of person as well. And we all got on very well. We was putting some good work in, getting some good wins. I first then came on board doing the cuts, and then they approached me about would I be willing to manage Jamie, and so on, and it's just developed from there, really.
Ah, interesting. Okay, so in all what you were saying there was a name that I heard. I thought, oh, there's a name, Lee Beard. I know that in British terms he was being hyped, or not in hype, being touted as a very top trainer, and you don't hear much about Lee Beard these days. What happened to Lee Beard?
He's still got a couple of fighters. As far as I'm aware, we're just busy doing our own thing. But I think he's the same. He's based up in Manchester, you see. And as far as I know, he works with Jimmy Kelly Jr. And I think he's got another couple of fighters. I know he did have Argensis Mendez at one time. And was fighting over in the States, and I think he fought for a world title there, IBF featherweight, super featherweight world title, and he was the champion.
Yep.
But I think he again he's working with a smaller pool of fighters now, which is what we try to do ourselves. And you can give them more of your quality time then, and try and produce more. I think we've all been through a stage where you take lads on, and you've got a gym full of fighters, but it's unfair then at times because not everybody then gets your soul
attention
time.
Yeah,
so it's a little bit unfair on them. So as you progress and that, you think if you can be more picky and choosy yourself then as you develop your own talents. And pick and work with select few fighters, and they can get the best out of you, and vice versa, you get the best out of them.
Absolutely. I remember I was training in the States, and my trainer at the time said to me, I only have 5 fighters in my gym, tops. If there's more than 5 fighters, it's a problem because I can't dedicate my time to those fighters. I need to spend at 8 fighters different.
Yeah. Well, a good trainer, every fighter will be there. Now, you can have a trainer in the gym, and a bad trainer to me is somebody who will try and get everybody to fight their way, their style of fight, or what they see, and they'll try and mold everybody. Now, a good trainer will take you as an individual, which is what you should do, strengthen your strengths already, also strengthen your weaknesses without taking any of your natural ability or your natural style away from you, and develop you into a good, solid, rounded fighter. And when you've got a smaller camp, you're more capable of doing so.
Okay, fantastic. Wasn't Lee Beard also connected with Hatton? I'm sure he was.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was with Hatton and the Mayweathers at one time. I think he. If I'm right, I think he worked with. I think he worked with Hatton for the Mayweather fight,
right,
or the Pacquiao fight, or for both. It might have even been, as far as I know. But yeah, he was in that camp because they came from Manchester. I think they were friends, and I don't fully know what role he played there. But yeah, he was involved with Ricky Hatton. Yeah.
Okay, let's move on now. Obviously, people have tuned in tonight to hear about the George Groves Jamie Cox preview, and you're probably best placed in terms of who we could grab immediately to talk about it. First of all, I've got to say thank you for reaching out, because had you not reached out, I would not have known that. I would not be none the wiser.
Yeah, well, I knew you was trying to go on to Jamie or John, but obviously tomorrow's the open workout.
Right.
Wednesday's press conference, and it's obviously fight week, so it's a lot harder, where I've probably got time to be able to speak to you. I know they're solely concentrating now on what they need to do and what's happening.
Absolutely. Okay, so I have heard of Jamie Cox, and I have seen clips of him. And before the World Boxing Super Series, of course, there were things being said about Jamie Cox. He's a good fighter. He's steamrolling people. He's doing this. So I didn't really. I just heard things about Jamie Cox, but I didn't really, to be honest, look into Jamie Cox. And of course, the World Boxing Super Series has now forced my hand to look at him, because now he's got a fight against. He's coming up this weekend against George Groves. So clearly, and then especially when people are saying, "Oh, Cox is a bum. He's going to get blown away in a couple of rounds." I say, no. Let me look and see this guy. Let me look at this guy properly and see what this guy's about. So I listened to the press conference with himself and George, and then after that, I listened to what he had to say. Then I said, let me look at this guy fight a bit, and I was trying to look at the Lewis Taylor fight. I couldn't find that anywhere on YouTube. So then I went to another fight, but from the highlights, seemed to have decent hand speed, power, southpaw style. And then I looked at the I think the Arias fight he had in 2016. A tall, kind of rangy guy, and there were things I saw that looked really good about Jamie Cox. Things like good hand speed, good power, nice movement. But then I saw other things, him getting easy to hit, the temperament, him sticking your head in and stuff like that. Of course, I haven't seen Jamie Cox box much since that fight. So what I'm trying to find out today is more about Jamie Cox, how much you know about his amateur career, what he's doing as a professional, his temperament, and obviously answering those questions about the concerns I have about Jamie Cox. One of the main concerns are about him moving from middleweight to super middleweight. His trainer said that in the interview that he'll make super middleweight no problem, and he'll be bigger than Carl Froch. So there's a few things for you to talk about there. So the platform's yours. Go ahead.
Well, regarding I know it's been made a big thing of the size difference, and look, I'll start off on this note. It's an old-fashioned view where we was old that when it was an old amateur trainer, you're in the gym, you've got to get your weight down, lad. You've got to get your weight down. And fighters will be boiled down to the bare minimum till they're ready to drop on the floor to fight, because they think it gives you an upper hand because you're a bigger lad. Science has played a massive part in boxing now. That's not the case. Jamie started out as a professional, as a welterweight, and he's moved through the weights. He's had plenty of time to grow and develop into a fully fledged super middleweight. if Jamie could make middleweight and still be as strong, then that's the weight, as John has said before, he would be fighting at. But we feel he has every advantage at super middleweight. He is every little bit as big, well, he's bigger and will weigh more than what Carl Froch did when Carl Froch totally knocked out George Groves. Now, George has made a big deal of this. Oh, he's not big enough. He's the easiest option, hence why I picked him. And George knows for a fact, he knows Jamie from the amateurs. He knows that's not the case. He's just trying to play mind games like he has done with every single opponent, you know, and he says that he has success with southpaws. Yeah, that's because he plays mind games and gets what are usually counter-punching southpaws to come steaming forward, falling in with their weight over the front foot, because he's got into their head. George Groves likes to play mind games because he's very mentally weak himself. And whether he likes to admit it or not, you've seen that in the Carl Froch fight. He's got a little bit of quit in him. He's a quitter. He's got that doubt in his heart, and he knows in this fight he's every right to have that doubt about himself because he knows exactly what Jamie Cox is about. Jamie Cox is every bit as hard, if not harder, than Carl Froch. And as I say, will be weighing more. So for us, the size that everyone keeps going on about is nonsense.
I'm glad you straightened that one out. Now, Cox, people know when they listen to the channel and I review fighters and I talk about fighters pre-fight, I talk about being defensively responsible or defensively irresponsible. Defensively responsible, as you know, is a guy that will think about when he throws his shots, when he's going to land them, and making sure that his own defense is on par and making sure he doesn't get caught with shots. Somebody defensively irresponsible is a guy that will go out there and throw punches and will take 3 punches to land his own big shot. Now, from what I've seen of Jamie Cox, he's almost Jekyll and Hyde, because I've seen moments of him box nicely off the jab and move nicely and put beautiful combination together. And then I've seen another side of him. He's completely reckless, leaves his chin in the air and walks straight forward when he gets hit with a good shot. So, I mean, there are two sides to this situation. So, I don't know if he's a hot bloody type of guy where, you know, as soon as he gets hit on the chin, he's going to lose his mind. I don't know. Those things I don't know. And what's Cox's durability like as well? Talk to us a bit more about this.
His chin is granite. He's got a very, very good chin. And I think that what you're referring to there may be one of the problems. If you hit Jamie full on the chin with your best shot and you don't bother him, then I think that's where he then can, or you maybe have seen him become a little bit reckless, be defensively, you know, weaker, because he has no fear. Maybe it's not the right sort of mind frame, but if you can't hurt him, then he's going to stand there and he's just going to keep bombing away at you, and he doesn't mind you hitting him because there's nothing to worry him.
Well, there's a
that's what I will say. You've seen glimpses of Jamie where, you know, he's hard to hit and he throws good combination. That Jamie's people talk about he's a big puncher and that he's a reckless puncher. You know, listen, it's no secret. Well, it's a poor secret, should I say, the amount of people, including big names and current world champions, he has knocked out in sparring. And when I say knocked out, I mean knocked them out. Including, I've seen him with my own eyes knock out cruiserweights in 16-ounce gloves and head guards. That's no exaggeration, Ingram. You know, as I say, it's probably a poorly kept secret. Some of the big names, including world champions, he has iced in sparring. He can really punch, but he's more than that. He's an absolutely fantastic boxer. He won a Commonwealth gold medal, won the ABAs as an amateur young boy. You know, just turning 18 as a senior. He's a very accomplished boxer. He's got good balance, good footwork, great hand speed, got a good chin, got phenomenal power. He's got an absolutely amazing engine. His engine is second to none. It really, really is. You know, and again, we got a great guy who works with us, Des Witter, who is a strength and conditioning trainer. Now, I know these pop up all over the country and everyone's a strength and conditioning expert, but this man really knows his onions. You know, he works with Cal Yafai, Gamal Yafai. He took Stuart Hall and took him on and got him a world title. You know, so the proof's in the pudding with him. he's shown his worth, and he's helped take Jamie, his conditioning and his strength, moving through the weights, absolutely through the roof.
Okay.
Really has.
See, I'm going to ask you. You know me already. I'm not going to beat around the bush, and I'm certainly not going to just celebrate Jamie Cox based on what you're saying. But I do respect what you're saying. My other concerns about this fight is: has this fight come too soon in the career of Jamie Cox? In terms of, I mean, you're jumping from fighting, decent guys to now fighting one of the best. I'd put inverted commas, one of the best super middleweights in the world, inverted commas. In a massive tournament with so much on the line. Is he temperament? He may have all the skills in the world, but temperamentally, can he hold it together without getting himself disqualified, chucking in a headbutt, losing concentration, getting caught with a big shot from Groves? All these things, will have to come together on the night. I'm sure you can appreciate.
Yeah, of course you can. Of course you can. Listen, Jamie said it himself. This is his golden ticket. You don't get many of these in boxing, and in general, never mind a ticket like this. We're talking phenomenal wealth involved for the winner of the tournament, including numerous world titles on the line, and then the progression if you was to win this tournament, or even like Carl Froch lost in the final to Andre Ward, where it takes your career from then, including your potential wealth earnings and your titles and your career status. The platform is absolutely huge. He's got 36 minutes to change his life forever and change his family's lives, and Jamie's more than capable of doing that. More than capable. He's not in this to make up no numbers or just to say he fought for a world title.
Now,
John,
go on. I do have some.
Just say, John.
Go on.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Now, I was going to say, his trainer, John, he's a phenomenal coach. He really is. He's very tactical and he's on point, and he's got a phenomenal, really close relationship with Jamie. And Jamie's in the best place he's probably ever been in his life. He's at the best age. He's in the best position he is mentally, physically, financially. Everything is perfect. It's came at the right time for Jamie. It's not a minute too soon. He's been a pro a long time. He's a very experienced lad. He won the Commonwealth Games back in 2006 as an amateur. So he's been boxing a long time. It's the right time for Jamie Cox.
Okay. A few things I've got to bring up because people will ask me why I didn't ask. Things about Jamie Cox's past. I don't know about his past at all. So I know people have mentioned it in passing and slight comments have been made. I don't want to go into too much detail about it because it is his past, but it still is something to talk about. How much of that past he's had and Jamie Cox's past have effect today on his career in terms of, is he regretful for what's happened back then? Is it something how's it changed him?
Well, I can't comment and I can't speak for Jamie Cox, regarding regretfulness or whys or wherefores, but what I can say is there are always two sides to every story. Now, of course, people are going to listen and say, "Oh, well, you're going to say that for F's sake, you work with Jamie." What I will say is a very loyal, honest, upfront kid. If he's wrong, he's not a kid to not say he's wrong or shy away from it. There are two sides to every story, and any story or any problem that Jamie's ever had, some I know about, he's not. We are all sometimes put into a situation, unfortunately, we don't want to be in, and we haven't asked to be in. But what do you do? And people are very good manipulators and know how to lie and turn things against people. And where Jamie Cox is concerned, he's a very upfront, straight kid. And like I say, that's all I can comment on that, because I can't speak for Jamie regarding any of that.
Okay. From what I've seen so far of Jamie Cox, he has all the tools to beat Jules Groves, and he also he has all the tools to beat George Groves, And all the things I think he can use to beat George Groves are also all the things I think that could get knocked out by George Groves as well. It works two ways, because I see that if he takes the fight to George in an educated manner and he applies his art correctly, he can stop George Groves. But when he engages with George Groves, it's the lack of concentration which is a concern. How does he ensure that he doesn't lose concentration at world level?
Well, that's what he's been through a training camp for. Tactics in the game, and the game plan is for. You know, he's been preparing his whole life for a moment like this.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Jamie. You know, going back, people may have seen Jamie reckless at that times. That's because, and okay, look, it's not a good excuse, but he's had nothing to ever fear off. Nobody he's